When you hear the sound of the bell, you know you're in the championship rounds with King, of Essex. So let's get to it. A recap of last week's action in a division I call not my favorite, least favorite, or maybe I've even called it the worst, but we're going to talk lots about it today. I'm talking about the super flyweight division, 115 pounds, beginning with a new WBC interim titleist, um, Ginny Fuchs. She won via split decision over Adelaide Ruiz in a very tough bout. Not only tough because Ruiz was landing some very heavy punches once she started putting her combinations together, but Fuchs dislocated her thumb, went through her skin, very gruesome injury. Uh, Inhibited her from being able to get a rhythm on the southpaw jab, but she was getting that straight left off in absence of the jab. So a good fight, good win. Don't even necessarily, like I said, I don't want to detract from Future at all. I didn't like the matchup, only in the sense that I was questioning how Future had gotten this opportunity. But now that this has played out the way it did, hopefully Future will be willing to give some other fighters that was previously in her position an opportunity. Now I know right away at 4-0 with the titleist. With the title, she's probably going to try and unify with the full champion, Asley Gonzalez, the invisible Asley Gonzalez, hadn't fought since 2023. Before that, only twice in 2022. What is she going to do? I don't know, but maybe after Future heals, maybe that could be something that could happen at the top of the year 2025. But if not, there's some other action that could shake lots of contenders in and around the division. So, as far as the champions, let me clarify who's holding straps in the division. Clara Lescurat out of Argentina, she's got the WBA. Mizuki Hiruta, she has the WBO. She's out in Japan, I believe. Irma Garcia, Garcia's got the IBF. All right, and talk about the WBC. Nobody's got the ring. So yeah, those are the champions in the division. Now contenders. All right. Jasmine Artiga is ranked number 6, I believe, in the WBA. Yes. Taylor Robertson out of Australia is ranked number 3 in the WBO. Those are probably the two most significant names because a lot of the other fighters, true indeed, and credit and I guess Clara Lescurat is proof of that, and many other fighters, but there's just so much depth. A lot of the female fighters are from Argentina throughout all of the divisions. So sometimes I get disappointed that all these fights are happening in Argentina, but that is where a lot of the depth is. That being said, stateside, there are some contenders we got to talk about. I already mentioned Artiga. She's not in action, hasn't been in quite some time, and we need to see her. Now, who we will see, right? Let's talk about some fight announcements in this very same super flyweight division. Leanna Bumblebee Cruz out of Allentown, Pennsylvania. She is in a very big step up fight. I believe this fight is happening the 28th of September against Melis Gangloff. You may remember Gangloff, controversial loss to Ebony Bridges. I will say that. I mentioned on my Instagram post, my daughter thought Gangloff won. And I think she was like 4 at the time. Trust me. So it was a controversial win for Bridges, but Gangloff definitely showed her skill. That was at bantamweight. She's moving down. Maybe she was always a 115 pounder. I'd have to take a look at it. But if you look at Cruz's resume, yeah, she's going to need this win. This is a win that's going to stand out should she get it. If not, not taking away anything from her, but this is the kind of win or loss or just fight period that'll give her some great experience. So, Leanna Cruz, another name that you should look forward to seeing as a contender in the 115-pound division. All right. Let's keep it on that same card, and the full card, the main event, I believe, will be Haven Brady Jr. versus Nicholas Polanco in Philadelphia. But you got, listen, man, this woman is absolutely gorgeous. I usually don't talk like this. I don't want to sound like I'm being, like I can't be impartial and separate. Drop dead gorgeous. Johanna Wonder Wonyou. Yeah, man, respectfully. She will be fighting on this card as well, 10-0. She was previously a bantamweight. Is she coming down in weight to 115? Um, yeah, that's interesting. But to have her on this undercard, this would be great international exposure. Her opponent is a Colombian veteran, Josefina Vega. I believe a lot of the gals in and around division have fought Vega. She's 9-9 out of Colombia, so or could be Venezuela. I don't know, but a durable veteran to give the young Wonyou a test. So please tune in. So right now, I'm telling you, those are two contenders you want to keep an eye out for, and that's on the same card, September 28th. All right. We're going to keep it in 115 pounds, keep it in the super flyweight division, the junior bantamweight division. We're going to talk about Mikiah Kreps out of Niagara Falls, New York. She is in action. A prospect, but again, if I said, Fuchs went from prospect to contender right away, I could imagine the same for Kreps, especially given the opposition she has faced. Now, Kreps is 8-0 with 3 KOs, but she's defeated the likes of Melissa Odessa Parker. She's also defeated India Smith, who's a veteran, and the 6-3 Brittany Sims out of Ohio, who is highly ranked in the bantamweight division. So yeah, man, Mikiah Kreps, a hell of an opponent, and she's in there against a veteran, Marilyn Rivas. Rivas has a loss to Erica Cruz Hernandez, and she fought the current WBA super bantamweight champ Nazarena Romero to a draw. So yeah, Rivas is a hell of a contender, a hell of an opponent herself, and this will be a great test. Now I'm thinking Kreps, out of all the competitors I've listed thus far, perhaps save for Artesia, um, she could be the most experienced by virtue of the fighters she would have faced by this point. However, I do give some international and Olympic pedigree to Wonyou. So some subtle improvements in depth happening in the lightweight division. Now that Kreps and Rivas fight is going to be October 4th. I believe it'll be on the undercard of it could be an MVP or most valuable promotions, or maybe not. I don't want to get it twisted, but please be on the lookout for that one. I'll talk about it again as we get closer to it. All right. Getting closer to seeing the return of Franchon Crews-Dezurn, the unified WBC and WBA super middleweight division champion, former undisputed super middleweight division champion, and it looks like she'll be making a return to defend her unified titles against an inactive Olympian, but a former, I'll call her a contender, um, um, Citali Ortiz out of Mexico. Don't know much about her other than her Olympic experience, rather. She's got quite a few amateur fights. So super middleweight division, not a lot of, I guess, knockaround competition, not a lot of journeymen or women. Obviously, we're waiting for some sort of unification, but Savannah Marshall still in witness protection. Crews-Dezurn doesn't see fit to give Green a rematch for whatever reason. And there's pretty much nothing else happening in that division. So this return is not officially booked, but alleged to happen October 12th in Philadelphia. And also a tidbit, it was also reported that Tiara Brown could return to action. Far be it from me. I wish it was against Caddis Artingstall in a high stakes bout, but not so much. But if Tiara Brown returns to action on that card, it's always good. Visibility, you can't turn that down. Seeing as how, the featherweight division is kind of at a log jam. But hopefully that goes down. Let's get to the fight week action. Probably the most prominent, most significant action. Mary Spencer, former contender for the IBF and IBO super welterweight division titles. 2 back-to-back losses to my girl Femke Hermans, but she is coming in off a win over Sonia Drilling. It's a good win, to feel good win more or less, but she might be against stiff competition. Naomi Mans, out of Germany. Mans got a win over the recently retired, for boxing at least, Hannah Rankin. And Mans' 2 losses were to Lauren Price and Christy Babington, both at welterweight. So this is a coming up in weight. And if I believe I remember her style, she's quite the boxer, could find herself outboxing Spencer. Spencer's coming in to bang, maybe do a little bit something different, but not so much. This is tomorrow out of Montreal, Other Tiger Promotion. So tune into that one. You don't want to miss it. Now, as far as Saturday's action or the rest of the weekend's action, because I don't think we got anything happening on Friday. So you got Bree Howling swinging it to the bantamweight division. Bree Howling out of Canada. She's from Calgary, Alberta. Shout out to Stu Hart, Brett the Hitman Hart, and the entire Hart family out of Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Bree Howling is an undefeated fighter. Not really been in there against any significant competition of note, but this is a fight. Beta Dudick. You may remember that name because she just recently lost to Maureen Shea, the $1 Million Baby. Now Dudick is 4-3 with 4 KOs, so she's coming at her to punch, which could mean, she could kind of just be seek and destroy mission, which might not look well. But the experience, I'm thinking Dudick could bring in the ring. She's also been in there with Renee Tellez, so we'll have to see, if she gives Howling any trouble. Howling did not get selected to participate in the bantamweight tournament, but I guess I would position her as the Diego Pacheco of the bantamweight division. So if 168 for the men is kind of like 118 for the women, then Bree Howling is, kind of like a peripheral prospect. You don't need to rush her into the mix so soon. But if y'all think she's ready, well, we'll give it a shot and see. Now, you also got to see, I mentioned Renee Tellez, that she's in action. I mentioned that she had a win over Beta Dudick. However, she will be in action this weekend in Houston, Texas, against an undefeated fighter. So this is a battle of undefeateds, and it should be pretty good. You got Raina Tellez versus Jamisha Polk. Polk is 5-0 out of St. Louis. She's actually a featherweight, but she's coming down to the super bantamweight division. Should be pretty good. I'm not sure if they have any network situation yet, but see if you can find it. Also, see if you can find this card out of Australia. Don't know who's in the main event, but you have Viviana Corridor Ruiz versus Louisa Horton. I know about Viviana Ruiz. I believe she just got signed to one of the more notable promotional companies. Could be DeBella, could be Split T. Not sure, but I'm curious if this is an opportunity for us to gain some visibility. Minimum weight, 102 pounds. It ain't a lot of work down there. So this is more or less for shits and giggles. If you want to prove yourself to be a hardcore, you'll come back and be like, yeah, I'll see in this fight, but don't put no pressure on yourself. You ain't got to do all that. Also, just a couple quick news and notes. Caroline Dubois has been appointed or ranked #1 in the lightweight division. So if Taylor's not ready for the showdown, I'm sure she'll vacate, and that'll make Dubois the full WBC champ. Also, speaking of Katie Taylor, her very, very lucrative dance partner, Amanda Serrano, has been speaking out, obviously, about the 12x3. She's gotten Chantel Cameron on board for the 12x3, and it turns out she revealed that Taylor turned down a rematch. 12x3. Go figure. Yeah, not much else out there. Oh, I just want to say this quick, not gonna go into it, but my prayers, my patience, my love, my support is with Heather Hardy. I don't like the way, obviously, things have been going for her, medically, um, financially, business wise. Not really sure what the business is, and none of us really do. Um, I will just say there are many things, many avenues and industries in life where you've heard actresses. I heard Sharon Stone come out recently and say that she lost a lot of her money. It was stolen from her, things like that. You hear it all the time. Football players get ripped off by these fake financial advisors. You can't expect anybody to look out for you. And I know that sounds terrible, and it almost sounds like I'm um going against the sentiment of support and love. But what I'm saying is, this world is so cold and so unforgiving that along the way, I'm sure you made compromises that you regret. But at this point, please, if there's anybody that can assist her either with information on subsidized medical care, or hell, if you want to throw her a bag, hell, hire her to do something. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit. It's very unfortunate what's happening, but that's why they call this the hurt business. There is no glory in all this brawl and brawl and brawl shit. Boxing and the sweeter the science, as far as the evasive nature that you can engage in, it's like garage keeping yourself. So, um, I don't even know what all that meant, but I'm just pretty down about what's happening to Heather Hardy, and I wish that more people could assist her. Turkey, you got a bag, man. Yo, listen, them nasty motherfuckers in Dubai throw away hundreds of thousands of dollars on less. You ain't even got to ask Heather, although I'm sure she might be into it. You know, she seems like she's got a little freak in her, but you ain't got to ask her to do none of that kinky shit. Once you get one of your little, you know what I mean, one of your boys, you know what I mean, y'all know how y'all get down, man. You know what I'm saying? Heather, if I book you a bag out in Dubai, don't front on it. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing what I can. All right. So I've done what I can with this episode. Please drop a like, drop a comment. Let me know if I missed something. And also, yeah, man, thank you. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for all the views. And until next time, I'm out.